Ladies and gentlemen, life is full of seasons. Some seasons bring joy and laughter, while others seem to test us in ways we can barely comprehend. But understand this: God never leaves you in a season without purpose. Sometimes the most difficult moments in our lives are the very ones that prepare us for the greatest blessings. But how do you know when God is getting you ready for something extraordinary? Today, let's talk about the signs that God is preparing you for a blessing. When you start to feel an unusual discomfort in your life, it can be a signal that something is about to change. This discomfort doesn't necessarily come from failure or disappointment. It often emerges when things in your life that once made sense no longer do. You may find yourself restless in your current situation, whether it's a job that you once loved, a relationship that seemed fulfilling, or even just the day-to-day routine that you've become accustomed to. Suddenly, the comfort zone you've built starts to feel more like a cage. You can't explain why, but you know something is missing. That's the discomfort I'm talking about, and it's important to recognize it for what it is: a divine indicator that you are being prepared for a new season. You see, God often stirs up discomfort in our lives when He is ready to move us. It's His way of nudging us out of complacency and into growth. Discomfort forces you to question your surroundings, your choices, and even your own desires. What once satisfied you no longer does, because God is preparing your spirit for something greater. The place you are in now cannot contain what He's about to do. This discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's a sign that you've outgrown your current situation and God is pushing you toward the next level of your purpose. Discomfort also serves as a catalyst for change. Sometimes we get too comfortable where we are, even when we know deep down that we aren't living up to our potential. That's when God steps in and makes us uncomfortable so that we have no choice but to seek out something new. You might find yourself questioning, why do I feel this way? Why isn't this enough anymore? But rather than seeing it as a negative, understand that this inner turmoil is a divine prompting to move forward. It's God preparing you for a greater opportunity, a bigger blessing, and a higher purpose. When you feel this discomfort, don't ignore it. It's easy to try to soothe it by settling back into old patterns or distracting yourself with temporary fixes. But that discomfort is there for a reason. God is calling you to more. In these moments, it's crucial to lean into that feeling and ask God for clarity. Why am I feeling this restlessness? What are you preparing me for? Because the discomfort isn't random. It's orchestrated. It's meant to drive you to seek, to move, and to pursue what God has placed in your heart. Embrace it, don't resist it. That discomfort is the birthing ground for your next breakthrough. In life, there are moments when doors that once seemed wide open suddenly close. You might have had a clear plan or vision for your future, thinking that a certain path was exactly where you needed to be. Then, out of nowhere, opportunities dry up, relationships fade, or plans fall apart. It's easy to feel frustrated and discouraged when doors close, especially when you believe they were the right ones for you. But when you look at life through the lens of faith, you begin to understand that a closed door is not the end, it's a redirection. When God closes a door, it's often because He sees what we cannot. He sees beyond the immediate circumstances and knows which paths will lead us to our destiny and which ones will only serve as distractions. Sometimes we think a door closing is a setback, but in reality, it's God's way of protecting us from walking into something that isn't meant for us. We may not always understand why certain opportunities pass us by, but God's vision for our lives is far greater than what we can comprehend in the moment. Closed doors can also serve as a test of our faith and resilience. In those moments, God is asking, will you trust me even when you don't understand why this is happening? It's in these times of uncertainty that our faith is stretched and strengthened. We're forced to rely on God's wisdom rather than our own understanding. Sometimes the doors that close are the very ones we thought would bring us fulfillment or success, but God is saying, I have something better for you. A closed door is not a denial of your dreams, but a divine delay. It's God's way of preparing you for something that is beyond what you could have imagined for yourself. Moreover, when doors close, it's often because God is shifting your path to align more closely with your true purpose. He may be closing one door to open another that better suits the person you are becoming. You may not see it immediately, but over time you will begin to realize that what you thought was a loss was actually a gain. The disappointment of the closed door eventually gives way to the realization that God was steering you towards something greater. It's His way of saying, not here, not now, but trust that I have a better plan for you. A closed door can be a moment of growth and reflection. It gives you the chance to pause, to evaluate, and to reset your course. When we push for something that isn't meant for us, we may find temporary satisfaction, but God is not interested in temporary solutions. He is preparing you for long-lasting success and fulfillment, and sometimes that means closing the doors that don't lead to where He wants you to go. Instead of mourning over closed doors, begin to thank God for His protection and guidance, knowing that every closed door is part of His divine plan to open the right one at the right time. When you start facing increased challenges in life, it often feels like everything is working against you. The tasks that used to come easily now seem difficult, and problems that once seemed manageable begin to pile up. You might wonder, why is this happening? Why now? But these increased challenges are not random. They are part of a divine process designed to prepare you for the next level of your journey. Challenges are like the furnace in which your character is refined. They shape you, mold you, and strengthen you in ways that comfort never could. When life is easy, we become complacent, content with where we are. But challenges force us to stretch beyond our comfort zone. They demand growth, and growth is necessary for the blessings that lie ahead. God uses challenges to test your endurance, your commitment, and your resilience. The trials you face are not there to break you, but to build you. God is developing in you the strength and wisdom required to carry the blessing that He is preparing. Increased challenges also have a way of revealing who you really are. When everything is going well, it's easy to maintain a positive attitude. But when the pressure is on, when things start to fall apart, that's when your true character is tested. Will you hold on to faith when it feels like everything is working against you? Will you stay focused on your goals when obstacles keep popping up? These moments of difficulty are opportunities for you to demonstrate perseverance. God is watching how you handle adversity, because how you handle it determines whether you're ready for the blessing that's coming. Challenges also teach us to rely less on ourselves and more on God. Sometimes when we face increased opposition, it's a reminder that we cannot do everything in our own strength. The obstacles become too great, the problems too complex, and we are forced to lean on God's power instead of our own abilities. In those moments, we learn to trust God more deeply, knowing that He is in control, even when we are not. We begin to understand that the challenges are not there to defeat us, but to draw us closer to Him. Through adversity, our relationship with God strengthens as we realize He is the source of our strength, wisdom, and peace. Additionally, challenges serve as preparation for what lies ahead. The greater the blessing, the greater the responsibility that comes with it. And responsibility requires maturity, wisdom, and resilience. The challenges you face today are equipping you with the skills, patience, and perspective you'll need to manage the opportunities that are coming your way. God does not want to give you a blessing that you're not ready to handle. So He allows challenges to come your way, knowing that each one is shaping you into the person you need to become in order to fully embrace the blessing. These moments of hardship are also a reminder that blessings are not always easy. There is a weight to every blessing, a responsibility that comes with it. And if you're not prepared, the very thing that was meant to elevate you can become overwhelming. That's why God allows you to experience increased challenges. He's making sure you can handle what's coming. The trials are meant to stretch your capacity so that when the blessing arrives, you won't just receive it, you'll be able to sustain it. Increased challenges are often a sign that you're on the brink of something new. They indicate that you're moving into a new season, one that requires a stronger version of yourself. Challenges refine you, making you more resilient, more patient, and more equipped to walk into the future God has prepared for you. Rather than seeing these obstacles as roadblocks, understand that they are stepping stones to your next level. When you experience persistent delays in life, it's easy to become frustrated or discouraged, especially when you feel like you're ready for what's next. You've been working hard, praying and preparing, yet the breakthrough you're expecting seems to remain just out of reach. However, these delays are often more than just a test of patience. They're a critical part of God's plan for your growth and preparation. Delays teach us the importance of timing. While we may feel ready for the next step, God sees the full picture, including the things we cannot yet see. He knows when the time is truly right, and sometimes what we perceive as a delay is actually God aligning circumstances in the background. There may be aspects of the situation or even parts of ourselves that need further development before the blessing can manifest. What feels like a pause is often God orchestrating things to happen in the perfect sequence, ensuring that when the opportunity comes, everything will be in place. Persistent delays also serve to refine your character. Patience is a virtue that often only grows through experience. It's in the waiting period that you learn to trust God more fully, to surrender control, and to let go of your need for immediate answers. Waiting refines your heart and teaches you to depend on God's timing rather than your own understanding. You might feel ready, but the waiting period is a divine process that strengthens your faith, deepens your perseverance, and cultivates the kind of endurance that will be necessary when the blessing finally arrives. These delays can also protect you from walking into a situation prematurely. Sometimes, if we rush ahead of God's plan, we end up in circumstances that we are not fully equipped to handle. Persistent delays are often a way for God to shield us from pitfalls we cannot foresee. By holding you back for a season, He is protecting you from potential harm, disappointment, or failure that could arise if you stepped into something too early. The delay is not a denial of your dreams, but a safeguard, ensuring that when the door opens, you'll be fully prepared to walk through it. Delays test our faith in ways that few other experiences can. It's easy to have faith when everything is going smoothly, but what about when things are taking longer than expected? These moments test whether we truly trust in God's promises or if our faith is contingent on receiving immediate results. In this season of waiting, God is asking, do you trust me even when you don't see progress? Will you remain faithful to the process, even when it's slower than you hoped? It's through these delays that you learn to develop a deeper, more resilient faith, one that can endure the uncertainties of life without wavering. Persistent delays also create an opportunity for greater appreciation when the blessing finally arrives. When you've waited and worked for something over time, you don't take it for granted. You understand its value and the effort it took to get there. The waiting makes the blessing even sweeter because you know it wasn't handed to you easily. You earned it through perseverance, patience, and faith. God knows that when you wait for something, you are more likely to cherish it and steward it well once it comes into your life. During these delays, God may also be working on things beyond your immediate control. There may be external factors or people involved that need time to align with His plan. Perhaps a relationship or opportunity isn't ready for you yet. Or perhaps God is creating space in your life for something even bigger than what you originally imagined. What feels like a delay on your end may be the perfect timing on His end as He brings everything into alignment according to His greater purpose. Persistent delays also teach us the value of preparation. While you're waiting, God is giving you time to hone your skills, deepen your understanding, and become even more equipped for the next season. The delay is often an invitation to refine your gifts, to learn, and to grow in ways that you wouldn't have had the opportunity to if things had moved faster. Use the waiting period to develop yourself further, knowing that the preparation you put in now will be essential when the blessing finally comes. Though delays can be frustrating, they are often a sign that something greater is on the horizon. They are a necessary part of the journey, ensuring that when the right time comes, you will be ready in every way, spiritually, emotionally, and practically to receive the blessing God has in store for you. There are times in life when everything seems to become clearer, as if a fog is lifting. What once felt confusing or uncertain suddenly becomes illuminated, and you begin to see your purpose with fresh eyes. This is what happens when you experience a renewed vision. It's a powerful and transformative moment where God reveals something new to you or gives you deeper insight into something you've been pursuing for a long time. Renewed vision often comes after a period of reflection, growth, or even frustration. When we feel stuck or lost, it's easy to question where we're going and what we're doing. We may start doubting our abilities, our purpose, or even whether we're on the right path at all. But in those moments, God has a way of stepping in and giving us new clarity. He realigns our focus, helping us to see things from a different perspective. The renewed vision can be like a burst of inspiration, suddenly reigniting our passion and drive, reminding us of why we started in the first place. Sometimes renewed vision doesn't mean a completely new direction, but rather a deeper understanding of the current one. You might have been working toward a goal for years, but after a time, the excitement begins to fade. You lose some of the passion that initially drove you. This is when God steps in to renew your vision, to help you see the greater picture of why you are on this path. He allows you to refocus and realign with His purpose, giving you the energy and clarity you need to continue with a stronger sense of purpose and commitment. Renewed vision can also mean a shift in perspective, helping you to recognize the opportunities or blessings that were right in front of you all along. Sometimes we become so focused on one aspect of our journey that we miss out on what God is doing around us. Renewed vision helps us to step back and see the bigger picture, opening our eyes to the ways God has been working behind the scenes, preparing us for something greater. It's a moment of realization that often comes with peace, clarity, and a sense of excitement for what's to come. This renewal is often a sign that you are entering a new phase in your journey. You might have outgrown your old way of thinking, and God is giving you a fresh vision to match your growth. He's showing you new possibilities, new goals, or new ways to approach the challenges ahead. Renewed vision is God's way of saying, you're ready for the next step. It's a moment when you realize that the struggles and challenges you faced were not in vain, but were preparing you for this new level of understanding and purpose. Renewed vision is also a reminder of God's faithfulness. It shows that even when we feel lost or unsure, God is still guiding us, still revealing His plan for our lives. Sometimes we feel like we're walking in darkness, unsure of where to go or what to do next. But renewed vision is like a light being switched on, showing us the way forward. It's a reminder that God hasn't forgotten us and that He is still working, still guiding, and still preparing us for the blessings He has in store. When God renews your vision, it often brings with it a renewed sense of hope. The things that once felt overwhelming or impossible now seem achievable. You start to believe again, to dream again, and to trust that what God has promised will come to pass. Renewed vision fills you with confidence, not because the challenges have disappeared, but because you now have a clearer understanding of how to face them. It's like receiving a new roadmap for your journey, one that gives you a clearer sense of direction and purpose. Finally, renewed vision can also lead to a deeper sense of gratitude. When God opens your eyes to new possibilities or deeper understanding, you begin to appreciate the process you've been through. You start to see how every challenge, every delay, and every closed door was part of God's plan to bring you to this moment of clarity. You realize that the journey wasn't just about reaching the destination, it was about becoming the person you needed to be in order to handle the blessing that's coming. There are moments in life when certain people come into your path, seemingly out of nowhere, yet they play a significant role in shaping your future. These are divine connections, individuals brought into your life by God for a specific purpose. They are not merely chance encounters or random meetings, but part of a greater plan to help you fulfill your purpose and receive the blessings that are destined for you. These connections often happen when you least expect them, but their impact is undeniable. Divine connections can come in the form of mentors, friends, or even strangers who offer wisdom, guidance, and support at just the right time. These people are often able to open doors that you couldn't have opened on your own. They may introduce you to new opportunities, resources, or networks that propel you forward in ways you never imagined. God uses these individuals to help you reach the next level, providing you with the tools and connections you need to step into your blessing. They serve as a bridge between where you are and where you are destined to be. At times, divine connections come in the form of someone who offers you a different perspective or challenges you in ways that help you grow. They might push you out of your comfort zone, encouraging you to take risks or make decisions that align with God's purpose for your life. Their presence serves as a catalyst for change, sparking new ideas, helping you to see things more clearly, or guiding you through a difficult season. Often, they are people who have walked a similar path and can offer the wisdom and experience you need to navigate your own journey. These connections may also come as a confirmation that you're on the right path. When God sends the right people into your life, it can serve as a sign that you are moving in the direction He has planned for you. They may affirm dreams or goals you've been hesitant about, providing the encouragement you need to keep going. Their support strengthens your resolve, giving you the confidence to pursue your purpose with greater faith and determination. Sometimes divine connections are not about what the other person can give to you, but rather they're about what you are meant to give to them. God may bring people into your life who need your insight, support, or guidance. These moments of divine connection allow you to be a blessing to others, fulfilling your purpose by helping someone else along their journey. In turn, this act of giving often brings unexpected blessings back into your own life, as God rewards those who are willing to serve others. In some cases, divine connections lead to partnerships that are instrumental in fulfilling your purpose. Whether in business, ministry, or personal life, these partnerships are built on a foundation of shared values and vision. They are not just convenient alliances, but divinely orchestrated unions that are meant to create something greater than either party could achieve alone. Through these partnerships, God multiplies your efforts, expanding your reach and influence in ways that align with His plans for you. Sometimes divine connections help you to recognize and avoid potential pitfalls. God places certain people in your life to warn you of dangers or challenges you might not see on your own. Their insight can protect you from making mistakes or taking paths that would lead to unnecessary setbacks. They serve as guides, offering wisdom that prevents you from going in the wrong direction and helping you stay aligned with God's plan for your life. These connections also require discernment. Not everyone who enters your life is a divine connection, and it's important to seek God's guidance in recognizing who has been sent for a specific purpose. Divine connections are marked by a sense of peace, alignment, and mutual benefit. They don't come with drama, manipulation, or confusion. Instead, these relationships flow naturally and serve to uplift, encourage, and propel both parties toward their God-given destinies. God often uses divine connections to accelerate your progress. What may have taken you years to accomplish on your own can happen in a much shorter time frame when you are connected to the right people. These individuals bring resources, knowledge, and support that can help you bypass unnecessary delays and obstacles. In essence, divine connections act as accelerators for the fulfillment of God's promises in your life, helping you reach your goals more quickly than you could have on your own. Furthermore, these connections help to build your faith. When you witness how perfectly God orchestrates the timing and alignment of these relationships, it deepens your trust in His plan. You begin to see that you are not alone in your journey and that God is actively involved in bringing the right people into your life at the right moments. This awareness strengthens your faith, giving you the confidence to move forward with greater assurance that God is guiding your steps and preparing you for the blessings ahead. There are times in life when circumstances push you to rely more deeply on your faith. This process can be challenging, but it ultimately strengthens your relationship with God. When God is preparing you for a blessing, one of the most profound signs is a deepened faith. During these seasons, you find yourself leaning more on His promises, trusting in His timing, and believing in His purpose for your life, even when the path is unclear. This deepened faith often begins with a test. You might face situations that seem impossible, and at first it may feel overwhelming. However, it's in these moments of struggle that faith is built. You start to understand that faith is not just believing in God when things are going well, but continuing to believe even when nothing seems to be going right. It's about trusting Him when all the doors seem closed, when delays seem endless, and when challenges pile up. These trials are opportunities for your faith to grow because they push you beyond your comfort zone, forcing you to depend on God more than ever before. As you face difficulties, your faith becomes more refined. You begin to realize that every obstacle is not a dead end, but a stepping stone towards something greater. Each setback becomes a lesson in patience and trust, teaching you that God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with your own. This is where faith is deepened, not in the absence of problems, but in the midst of them. You learn to trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it, and that He is preparing you for something far better than you could imagine. Deepened faith also comes from recognizing the ways God has moved in your life in the past. When you reflect on previous moments where He came through for you, where He opened doors, provided solutions, or delivered you from difficult situations, you begin to trust that He will do it again. This reflection builds a sense of confidence, reminding you that if God has been faithful before, He will be faithful again. Your faith deepens as you recall the ways He has shown up time and time again, reinforcing the belief that He is always working for your good. In this process, faith becomes less about asking for specific outcomes and more about surrendering to God's will. You start to shift from praying for things to happen exactly as you want them to praying for the strength to accept whatever comes, knowing that God's plan is always better. This shift marks a deepening of your faith because it's rooted in a complete trust in God's sovereignty. You stop worrying about how or when the blessing will come and focus instead on preparing yourself spiritually for whatever God has in store. This surrender is a powerful step towards spiritual maturity. As your faith deepens, you also become more sensitive to God's voice and guidance. You start to notice the subtle ways He speaks to you through Scripture, through the wisdom of others, or through the circumstances of your life. This heightened spiritual awareness strengthens your faith because it reassures you that God is near, that He hears your prayers, and that He is guiding your steps. You become more attuned to His presence, realizing that He is not distant or silent, but actively involved in every detail of your life. In addition to trust and surrender, deepened faith also brings with it a greater sense of peace. Even in the midst of uncertainty or difficulty, you start to feel a calm assurance that God is in control. This peace is not based on the absence of storms, but on the knowledge that God is with you in the storm. It's a peace that surpasses understanding, one that allows you to rest in the midst of chaos, knowing that God is preparing something good for you. The deeper your faith, the more you are able to experience this peace, which is a clear sign that you are being prepared for a blessing. A deepened faith also leads to a more intimate relationship with God. As you rely on Him more, your prayer life grows, your dependence on His word increases, and your heart becomes more aligned with His will. This intimacy strengthens your spiritual foundation, making you more prepared to receive the blessings that God has planned for you. You begin to seek His presence not just in times of need, but in all seasons, knowing that a close relationship with God is the greatest blessing of all. Through the process of deepening your faith, you also become more resilient. Life's challenges no longer shake you in the same way because your faith is anchored in something unshakable. You learn to stand firm in the face of adversity, confident that God is using every trial to prepare you for greater things. This resilience is a key part of spiritual growth and is essential in preparing you for the blessings that God has in store. With a deepened faith, you are able to withstand the trials that come your way, knowing that they are part of God's plan for your ultimate good. In the end, deepened faith transforms the way you see your circumstances. Instead of viewing challenges as obstacles, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. You no longer fear the unknown, but embrace it, trusting that God is leading you towards something better. You develop a mindset of expectancy, knowing that with each step of faith, you are moving closer to the blessings God has promised. This faith-filled perspective empowers you to live with hope and joy, even in the waiting, because you trust that God is always preparing something great for you. In life, it's common to face turbulent moments filled with uncertainty, confusion, and stress. These chaotic times can create a sense of inner turmoil that feels overwhelming. However, amidst this chaos, there exists a profound opportunity to cultivate inner peace, a state of tranquility that transcends external circumstances. This inner peace is not about escaping reality or denying the challenges you face, but rather about grounding yourself in faith, hope, and assurance that God is in control, even when the world around you feels chaotic. Finding inner peace begins with the recognition that chaos is a natural part of life. It is not something to be feared, but acknowledged as a component of the human experience. Embracing this reality allows you to shift your perspective, understanding that chaos can be a catalyst for growth. During difficult times, the storms of life often challenge your beliefs and values, compelling you to seek deeper truths and reassess what truly matters. This process of reflection can lead to a more profound understanding of yourself and your relationship with God, ultimately paving the way for lasting peace. A crucial aspect of cultivating inner peace is surrendering control. Many people find themselves in a constant struggle to manage every detail of their lives, fearing what might happen if they let go. However, true peace comes from releasing the illusion of control and trusting in God's sovereignty. When you recognize that you cannot dictate every outcome, you free yourself from the weight of worry and anxiety. This surrender opens the door to a deeper reliance on God, allowing you to rest in the knowledge that He has a plan for your life, even when things seem uncertain. This trust transforms chaos into a canvas for God's faithfulness to be painted. In the pursuit of inner peace, intentionality is key. It requires making a conscious effort to focus your thoughts and energy on things that nourish your spirit rather than deplete it. This can involve establishing a regular practice of prayer and meditation, creating space in your daily routine to connect with God. During these quiet moments, you can reflect on His promises and draw strength from His Word. Immersing yourself in Scripture can serve as a lifeline, providing clarity and comfort in the midst of chaos. These moments of connection are essential for cultivating a mindset that fosters inner peace, as they remind you of God's presence and unwavering support. Practicing gratitude also plays a vital role in achieving inner peace amid chaos. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong, allowing negativity to take root in your heart. However, gratitude shifts your focus to the blessings that surround you, no matter how small. By intentionally recognizing and giving thanks for the good in your life, you begin to foster a sense of contentment that withstands external pressures. This practice helps to ground you, creating a positive perspective that can overshadow feelings of chaos. Gratitude transforms your outlook, encouraging you to see the light even in the darkest moments. Another vital component of achieving inner peace is maintaining healthy boundaries. In chaotic times, it can be easy to become overwhelmed by the demands of others or the distractions of the world. Establishing boundaries allows you to protect your mental and emotional space, giving you the freedom to focus on what truly matters. This might mean saying no to certain commitments or limiting exposure to negative influences. By creating a sanctuary for yourself, you can cultivate a peaceful environment that fosters spiritual growth and emotional well-being. This intentional protection of your inner space enables you to respond to chaos with calmness rather than react with fear or frustration. Engaging in self-care is equally important on the journey toward inner peace. Taking care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs enables you to approach life's chaos from a place of strength. This might involve prioritizing rest, pursuing hobbies that bring you joy, or spending time in nature to reconnect with God's creation. Self-care isn't selfish, it's a necessary component of maintaining your well-being. When you nourish yourself holistically, you become more resilient in the face of challenges, allowing you to meet chaos with a sense of balance and serenity. Additionally, surrounding yourself with positive influences can significantly impact your ability to maintain inner peace. The people you choose to spend time with can either uplift you or drain your energy. Engaging with individuals who inspire and encourage you helps to reinforce a sense of calm and positivity. These relationships create a supportive network that reminds you of your worth and purpose. In moments of chaos, having people who speak truth into your life can make all the difference, providing reassurance and guidance that help you navigate turbulent times. Finally, it's essential to remember that achieving inner peace is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments of struggle, but each step you take toward cultivating peace brings you closer to a more profound understanding of yourself and your relationship with God. Embracing the process allows you to grow and evolve, nurturing your spirit in ways that prepare you for the next challenge. This ongoing journey is not about achieving a constant state of calm, but about finding the strength to stand firm in the face of chaos, anchored in the knowledge that you are not alone. In conclusion, the ability to find inner peace amid chaos is a transformative journey that deepens your faith, builds resilience, and enhances your relationship with God. As you cultivate this peace, you learn to navigate life's storms with grace and assurance, trusting that God is at work in every situation. With each challenge you face, you grow more attuned to the still, small voice that guides you, leading you toward a life filled with peace, purpose, and the blessings that await you. In closing, the signs that God is preparing you for a blessing are often subtle yet profound. Each sign, whether it be unusual discomfort, closed doors, increased challenges, persistent delays, renewed vision, divine connections, or deepened faith, serves a purpose in your journey. These experiences are not merely obstacles, but divine indicators that God is working behind the scenes, crafting a masterpiece that aligns with His perfect plan for your life. As you navigate through these signs, remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every closed door is a redirection to something greater, and every moment of discomfort is a step toward your destiny. Embrace these signs with faith and trust, knowing that God is preparing you for something extraordinary. So remain hopeful and patient. Your blessings are on the horizon, shaped by the very experiences you are encountering today. Trust in the process, stay connected to your purpose, and open your heart to the incredible possibilities that lie ahead. God is not only preparing you for a blessing, He is preparing you to be a blessing to others. Keep your eyes open, your heart ready, and your spirit willing, for the best is yet to come.